endless games, endless runner games. You wanna know what that is? Well, it's clearly in the name, endless runners, endless runner games. So basically, you run, and it is not just about running, it is also about avoiding obstacles, getting power-ups and money, and getting a big high score where you can flex it to your friends, if you have one. Anyways, many games such as Subway Surfers, Jetpack Joyride, Zombie Tsunami, Temple Run, and so much more. So the title on this video is that I wanna make my very own endless runner games. Now I did try to make an endless runner games before, but it didn't really quite work out, so I just kinda left it to my basement. Now before we make that game, I'm just going to point out the idea on this game. Well, my plan is that the player will be running on top of a moving train. Why exactly? Because I'm running out of... Anyways, I opened a new 2D project and then I added a square. Now this square is not moving, so we're going to give it a code. So now our player should be able to walk left to right and can also jump. But then I realized that I don't really need the player to walk left to right. So after that is done, it's time to add in the trains. So I added another square, which will be our train, and add a code for it that will make it move forward to the player. Next thing we need to do is that we need to make this train spawn, which kinda took a while to figure out because there's bugs all over the place, but I ended up figuring something out that actually works pretty smooth. Well, the way this works is that I added an invisible collider on top of each train, and then when the player enters that collider, it will spawn a train on the position that I want it to spawn. I'm not quite sure if that was the right way to explain that, but it works. So yeah, now this is looking pretty well and all, but there's a bit of a problem, and that problem is that our player is just a square and is looking kinda like my videos on. So that is why we need to make an actual player with arms and legs. Okay, so I went for a more simpler look, basically just a robot and also a square. But he's not just any other square, he is a square with more square. Anyways, here's our player so far. I think our player needs some animation. Also before that, as you can see, I changed the train now so it looks like more of a train instead of a square. And this is done using pixel art. I do not really know how to animate a proper running animation or a jumping animation. So after doing this for about an hour, play around with some boxes and do some code for the animation to trigger. And we will have this result. Okay, the animation definitely needs some improvements, but I think it kinda looks good. Now the next thing that we cannot forget to add is the background. So I quickly made a simple background on pixel art, then I just reused the code from my old game called Type It for the background movement, which looks great. And also I gave the player the ability to roll down for the obstacles, which I will add later. And when I say later, I mean right now. So I made two obstacles in pixel art, add them in Unity and modify them for a bit, and here's the result. While playtesting this, I found out that the player is kind of hard to see, so what I did was I added a day and night cycle. I mean, the player is still kinda hard to see when it's daytime, but when it's nighttime, you can properly see the player. Right now, as you can see, the player is practically immortal, which is kind of a problem because the game does not reset unless that player is killed. So let's kill the player. Now there's a lot of different ways that the player can be killed, so I went for the more simpler way of killing the player. Here's what it looks like. Oh, what was that? You wanna know how I did this? Well, it's pretty simple. All I did was... Now before we do the playtest, we need to do some more things, such as making UI, scoring, and adding more obstacles. So let's finish that. So the first thing I did was I made a main menu with our player sleeping on top of a train, and I think it's kinda cool. So the next thing I did was I made a game over screen. After that, I added some more obstacles for even more fun gameplay. I also added some animation to the camera to make the gameplay look more appealing. And the last one I think will be scoring. Now, every Endless Runner games become way faster the longer you play, which makes the gameplay even more challenging. Now, adding this to my game is actually really simple. All we need to do was to just slowly increase the time scale, and if you don't know what a time scale is, it's basically just a way to control time. So now the game will be slowly becoming faster the longer you play the game. I also got the scoring done now, so yeah. And finally, we can do some playtesting to see if this game looks any good or just completely garbage. I mean, that's what I'm known for. Now, I think the only thing that is missing now is the sound effects. And the sound effects are not really a big deal because we could just use SFXR to make sound effects. And finally, we have sound effects, which is just a really simple fix. And surprisingly, while playtesting this, I actually found no bugs, which is just weird. The only problem is now is that we don't have any background music and we don't have a name for the game yet. And also, this game is not really uploaded to anywhere just yet because this game is not really that finished. And I wanna add more things to it. So let me know if you people wanna see that. Okay, I'll shut up now and you guys can just enjoy this boring gameplay.